All right, well, thank you to everybody for being here today. One thing we want to do is talk agriculture and rural communities. Especially, I think doing this today, where after the weekend we found that the president wants to import a record amount of beef coming from South America. After 3 years of already having record amounts, I think this is pretty significant what we're proposing here as House Democrats. So we have 5 things here and we call it the Regaining Iowa Farmers Independence. Riffy, there could be a better name, but that's what we're going with. And the first one is right to repair, and I would like to have my colleague Josh Turek talk about that.
Sure. Hello everyone, thanks for being here. And traveling the state for the last few months, without a doubt, one of the issues that I have heard the most from farmers is on their inability to actually have their equipment repaired. This is certainly something that has resonated with me. I've also run a bill here in the Iowa legislature on a right to repair wheelchair equipment. And what's happening right now is you're having providers and manufacturers that are actually restricting farmers from being able to get their farm equipment repaired in a timely manner. They're actually restricting the diagnostic tools. And so what is that forcing? It's forcing our farmers incredibly long waits and certainly additional costs. And while they're waiting for their equipment to be repaired, they are losing significant money. There have been other states like Colorado that have passed this legislation to mandate that all of these providers and these repair shops, that they have access to the diagnostic tools that they need. And certainly federally as well, we're looking at trying to pass a Right to Repair Act so that we can see this done nationally. But without a doubt, this is one of the biggest barriers and unnecessary costs that our Iowa farmers are experiencing.
Absolutely, thank you, Josh. Second, this is farm ownership transparency. This is something that actually already exists, but it's confidential. So the Secretary of State gets information on who owns our farmland, especially foreign ownership, and creates a thing every year. A registry, and lets us know every year, but I think it's something that should be public, so it's more of a transparent thing. I also think that we should have a opportunity to allow for those farms to allow when they only have a few acres that they want to rent out because they can't really do anything on it, but maybe a young farmer could. All that kind of falls under that. We have the Iowa Democratic Farm Bill, which is mostly appropriations to what existing programs, help beginning farmers, help cover crops, help conservation efforts to go along there. Number 4, ban on vertical integration. I think that's something that is clear right now, where farmers are on the hook. These corporations have their claws on both sides of things, and so if they have on the input side and on the market side, so if we focus on that and allow the AG's office to do their job, that would help a long ways. And the last one is country of origin labeling. We like to do something, if you eat an Iowa pork chop, we want to make sure it's from here in Iowa. So I think there's consumer fraud that goes along with that and helping protect our farmers and ranchers as well. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Especially both for cool and for right to repair, aren't those more national matters than state?
You know,
can you do it on the state level?
So yes, we can do a smaller version on it, but that's the big issue, is nobody's doing it on the federal level. Both South Dakota and Montana did resolutions on country of origin labeling, pushing their folks. I'd be willing to do that if Republicans want to meet us to do a resolution saying, hey, federal folks, start doing your job. And because especially with more imported meat, we want to make sure that something that was raised and processed down in South America doesn't get shipped here and then put a product of USA label on it.
And on the right to repair, Colorado has already done something on that. There's been several other states that are actually looking at doing similar policies.
Exactly.
Have you had any conversations with Republican colleagues about portions of this, and if so, or have they been receptive to any part of it?
You know, the farm ownership one, I haven't got a clear answer why it's confidential, and so that's something that I was told that there is interest in their caucus. So I would love to see something along those lines. We did pass something bipartisan on expanding the ban on foreign ownership of farmland a few years ago, and hopefully this is like the next step.
They also have shown some interest in country of origin labeling, to see some movement on that.
Again, with Montana and South Dakota doing something, that would be similar mindsets of what we would wanna do here. Then last out, you wanna talk a little bit about, what we're seeing, nationally too with that?
Certainly can. I mean, in traveling the state, I would say that the largest issues of, similar to what we're talking about here, it's nationally. We need to pass a farm bill. We need mandatory country of origin labeling, without a doubt. Strategic tariffs, not this wild, chaotic tariffs of what we're seeing. Certainly our Iowa farmers right now are upside down with their commodities prices. We're now looking at leading the nation in farm foreclosures, unfortunately, and also seeing suicide rates being 3 times higher. We got to do something and do more on antitrust, particularly on the input prices. It's really, really hurting farmers. And certainly, as we've talked about here, vertical integration and right to repair. These, I think, are the most fundamental issues that we need to address, both at the state and at the federal level.
When you said suicide rates are 3 times higher, do you mean 3 times higher for farmers than for other adults, or do you mean 3 times higher for farmers now than there used to be?
3 times higher than that they were a year and 18 months ago. And I just heard a stat recently that was saying that now the highest rates in terms of increase for suicides, it used to be the veterans, and now they're talking about small family farmers. Yeah, it's a difficult place right now to be an Iowa farmer, and this is just being made significantly worse by bad state policy and bad federal policy. And we need lawmakers and common sense bipartisan legislation to actually make this situation better for our farmers.
And so just to wrap things up, and just, again, this would allow farmers to have back a little bit of their independence. So much has to be done nationally, but we're doing all we can at the state level to try to push for this, so.
Logistically, is this gonna be a series of bills?
Yeah, yep. This in under the umbrella of RIFI.
Right.
The greatest acronym known
Do you expect merch, t-shirts and such?
Yes.
to.
We're working
start
on a
small.
contract.
We're starting small. All right. Well, I know everyone's busy. I just want to say thank you for showing up and appreciate your attention to this. Thank you.
Thank you.